As with other knowledge areas, project communication management also has a planning process, a plan communication management, which gives us a communication management plan. A communication management plan which will guide us in managing and controlling project communication. So in order to get the project communication management plan, let's look at the input information which we need for preparing it. First, we need to know the overall plan. We need to know the project management plan which will help us in identifying schedule baseline, cost baseline and other subsidiary plans, because they will help in identifying communication requirements, communication frequency, which is an essential element of project communication management plan. The another input is who needs this information? A stakeholder register. Now, stakeholder register is a repository of stakeholders, their expectation, their influence on this project. So this helps us in identifying who, when, what type of information these guys are interested in. And in addition to these, we also need to know our enterprise environmental factor and our organization process assets like reports, formats, templates, which helps us in managing communication. So we need an enterprise environmental factors, we need to look into enterprise environmental factors and organization process assets. Now, identifying or preparing a communication management plan may look like a very simple job, because you may be doing it in a small project where you usually just follow the organization process asset. You pick it from a historical information or from another project or from the template, and the template guides you how you have to do the complete communication in your project. But in a complex project, you need to look into communication requirement and identify a right method, approach for communication, and that's why a good amount of tool and techniques are involved in preparing communication management plan. So first tool and technique which comes into the picture is have a project communication requirement analysis. So first you need to do a communication requirement analysis. How do you do it? You look at the stakeholder register, you identify what, when they need an information and why do they need information. So that is a requirement analysis you do. While doing a requirement analysis, you also look at number of communication channels. So you might have seen a formula where we says that number of communication channels is n minus 1 divided by 2, where n represents the number of people involved. Now, why this formula is important and why as a project manager you need to look at something like this where we say that how many communication channels we have. Say if you have 4 people, they would be having 6 communication channels. And these 6 communication channels is manageable. You can leave them talking to each other and collecting project status information and working together. But if the n is 100 multiplied by 99 divided by 2, it becomes a big number. A big number, and managing these many communication channels is difficult work for a project manager. Quite a difficult work for a project manager. So what should he do? He should think of reducing the communication channels. How it can be done? By creating a communication barriers or hierarchies. Like I will say that there would be a person and he would be supported by 3 people, and inside these 3 people there would be a team of 4, and they can communicate with each other, but whatever communication goes to this particular person is only goes through this guy. And if they have to communicate with the other team, they will go through this communication channel. So as a project manager, when you are making communication management plan, you also need to visualize your communication flow hierarchy. Who can ask status? Who can send the status report to whom? And this is driven primarily by how many number of communication channel you have. If it's a very simple team, 6, 7 10 people working in a one project team, you may not need this kind of hierarchy. Anybody can talk to anyone and project can get executed. The second tool and technique which you need to apply is communication technology. What does it mean? You need to identify what communication technologies you would be using for which type of communication. You may use emails for some set of communications. You may use a video recording for another set of communication. You may use chat, you may use SMS, you may use Facebook, you may use Wiki, you may use blog, etc. etc. So you need to visualize a communication technology which are available for your project team. Second, on the basis of their characteristics. For example, face-to-face communication is always preferred, but it cannot be done because of a geographical difference. You may go to a video conference. Video conference may not be possible if the time zone is too different. The person is not available. Then you may get fallback on a video chatting, video blogging. If that is also not possible, you say that okay, follow an email communication. So you need to identify which one fits where. The third tool and technique, while identifying communication management plan related details, you also need to look at communication models. You need to identify which communication model you are going to follow in your project execution or planning or in management. The basic communication model could be a person is thinking. So whenever we are communicating, even I am communicating, I am thinking something. And whatever I am thinking, I am trying to use my words, convert my thinking by way of words and writing something on a whiteboard that it can get communicated to you. So I am thinking and then I am encoding. So I do an encode, that my thought process, and then I am transmitting it via way of videos to you. While transmitting, there could be a possibility of noise. You may be hearing some external noise, or while we convert this video, there could be a sound glitch or etc. etc. So similar in your project, as a project manager, you are thinking of communicating something, you are encoding it, and then you are transmitting it in some media. It could be an air media, face-to-face media where voice is the transmission medium. And then the receiver is getting this information, and this receiver is further decoding it. Now, ultimately, you need to understand the project management. You don't have to remember what I'm saying. So my words are only media. Finally, you need to receive the message. So you will decode it. You will decode it as a receiver. You decode this information so that you can think and keep inside your mind. Before decoding, you may first acknowledge that's a possible communication that yes, I have received an email, but I have not yet read it. For example, I have enrolled for this particular program, but I have not started viewing it. So there's an acknowledgement. But once you start absorbing the information, you start interpreting and extracting and thinking out of the message, which is called decoding. It's good in order to have a close communication that you also communicate back a feedback or a message which can help a sender to ensure that you have understood the right information. In that case, you will further encode your thinking into a words, into a communication media, and then you will transmit it. There could be a noise, same process, and then the person who was the original sender will decode it according to his perception. And while decoding, he will check, is the message which he has decoded, a B, is same like the message which he has thought of transmitting. If he finds the message A and B are the same, then he feels that effective communication has happened. If he finds there is a gap, then he will do another cycle of it and will send the modified or an add-on message to ensure that whatever he is thinking is get communicated. So these are communication model, a sample communication model. how it is important as a project manager? You may tell your team members that whenever you have an email of this category, whenever you get a service request, whenever you get a defect report, you need to have an acknowledgement for those. And this acknowledgement should ensure that to the receiver, to the sender, that at least the request has been received. After that, you may make sure, enforce a rule where they also need to write their interpretation of the problem back to the sender. So this is how the communication model impacts your communication management plan. The fourth tool and technique is communication methods. Now, there are three types of methods. One is an interactive. Two people are talking. You are asking the question, he is replying, he is asking the question, you are replying. And in this model, the person who is generating information, the person who is giving instructions has to ensure that receiver get the right message. So if I am talking to you in a classroom, I keep interacting till the time I am sure that yes, you got the right message. So it's an interactive method. So first communication method is interactive. When you are dealing with your team members, you make sure that you follow interactive model. Even if you are not at a face-to-face, even if you are following email, there may be a gap, but you try to follow that there is an interactive model where you make sure that your team member is getting the right instruction as per your thinking. The second model is push, or kind of a publisher, where you get the project report and then you publish it. You send an email or you push the information to X number of senders. And you are not worried about are they interpreting the message rightly. You are just pushing the information. You are not making sure, you are not asking for the feedbacks. So this communication model will work for a project status information where you have to satisfy the stakeholders who just need to be informed, or stakeholders who are just interested in knowing in the progress or a timeline related information. So you can just push the information at a regular frequency. Third model is pull, where you are not pushing anything, but you have said at a given frequency I will publish a status report at this repository. So whoever needs it can pull it. So if I am interested in knowing what's going on in a project, I go to a project dashboard and I check it. So in a project, you need to apply all these three. You need to have some informations which are available to X number of stakeholders, because in a communication management, we need to ensure that only the relevant people get relevant information, because over communication is also dangerous. So we need to ensure who can pull what kind of information would be pushed at a what frequency, and in which all cases the interactive model has to be used. The fifth and final tool and technique is meeting. This meeting is not to communicate, but this meeting is to discuss all these possibilities, the requirement of stakeholders, have a brainstorming sessions, identify what communication management plan we should make to get effective communication in our project. So output we get is communication management plan. And this communication management plan will guide us how are we going to manage and control communication. Now, while doing manage, it also talks about who is responsible for which type of communication activity, at what frequency, when they have to do it, what methods they should use it, what formats they should apply. Whatever is needed to tell how to do a communication, how to do retrieval of information and transmit of information. This communication management plan will also talk about how are we going to ensure that communication management plan is followed. Control. It also talks about how will we manage changes in a communication management plan. So if somebody says that I need a weekly status report now onwards, so how are we going to manage such kind of communication change request? So this all is covered in communication management plan. The second output, which is a simple output where we say that update project documents. A special document which can get updated out of all this is stakeholder register. So stakeholder register may get updated based on the analysis which we do, further analysis we do during planning the communication management. So in summary, it tells us how are we going to manage and control communication. It gives us formats, frequencies. It talks about role and responsibility, who is responsible for sending weekly status report, etc., etc. in our project. In order to do that, we need to do a good amount of analysis of our communication requirement and the methods and the models available to us.